Hey everybody, Teddy J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope all is well with you and yours. What's good, what's good, what's good? Let's see, who we have to say hello to. Let's say hello Chicano, hello Rick Ritchie, hello Leroy, and I hope all of you have actually invested in yourselves. Ahem. Ahem. Hint, hint. Just saying. If it was a new thing to get started, it could make sense to piggyback on Trump's clout. But one like crypto.c, it could have a bad effect. Ooh. Ricky came out swinging, I tell you. Yeah. So we're gonna get into that topic in a little bit. It's a hot topic. Let's not even play. It's a hot topic. It's not small. I've got mixed feelings about it. Mostly toward the I don't think that should happen side. Sorry guys, I'm just getting the notes put away. Hello Paula. See, why is it that Paul is the only one that actually answered tonight's question? I shouldn't talk to any of you guys. I'm just saying. Tonight's poll question. Do you think it is a good idea for a crypto company to sign a deal with Trump Media? Yes, no, what now? And then other. Because that's a bit much. That's a bit much. In real world assets today, it hit over $10.4 billion. No, sir. Investing in yourself. I told you before, trust but verify. I want confirmations. I want people to say it. I want you to say it. Type it out. I want it in front of you, not on the side, not as based on an assumption. I want it at the forefront of everybody's mind to invest in yourselves first. Hate me if you want to. I'm just saying. Hello, Bianca. Hello, 8 Paws. That's what's up. Yes, I did. You know I did. Let's see. Who did I miss? Smart Alec response. Bianca invested. Sweet Kiki in the house. And they invested in themselves. You see how easy that is? Do you see how easy that is? Thank you, Rick. That's all I'm asking for. Come on. Play the game. And guess what? Sweet Kiki03, that was their first time making a comment. Welcome to the family. Wasn't their first time watching though, because you have to watch the show to know that you invested in yourself. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So you've got, thank you, Leroy. Oh, you have the flu. Ooh, that's pretty disgusting. Hope you feel better, bud. Glad you're watching though. You know, means you're not on your deathbed. You're just a little sick. But think about that. You have real world asset tokenization hitting the notch, $10.4 billion in total value locked. Obviously led by BlackRock's BUIDL, MakerDAO, and now you've got Fidelity in the game. That's big. I don't care what anybody says. That's kind of large. And it's also kind of large because they did it on Ethereum as their first choice. They will be adding more, but Ethereum was first. That's pretty cool. If he stays on for 15 minutes, it's investing in himself. That's investing in yourself. He's probably bored as heck, laying in bed, doing nothing. So happy to have you, man. You know it. Happy to have you. Thank God for keyboards. Don't think just because you're sick that I won't send you to the corner. Some of us know the keyboard thing. You can still wind up there. I'm just putting it out there for you. Just putting it out there for you. That could still be a thing. What else happened? Standard Charter's Jeffrey Kendrick suggests Bitcoin now behaves like a tech stock, as if it never has before. I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. It has before, and then it didn't, and now it is again. So it's kind of an awful. I think what it is that sometimes, you've got Bitcoin going like this, and every now and then they come in sync, and then sooner or later you'll see it go off again. I think that's what's going on right now. I think that the bots that actually do most of the trading are not necessarily looking at it from a non-numeric perspective. Excuse me. So when I look at that, it tells me, yeah, these are not regular people evaluating an opportunity. A lot of these are numbers driven. Numbers driven, just like the same way they do with stocks. Numbers driven. Just, it is what it is. It is what it is. So right now, tech stocks and Bitcoin happen to be in sync. There's going to come a point where they're going to be out of sync again. One will be on the upside, the other will be on the downside. Then the roles will reverse. That's the way it's been for a while. For a while. Until people stop and realize, yeah, Bitcoin's not a tech stock, buddy. It's not a tech stock. Last cycle, if the DXY stocks and gold was down, then Bitcoin was up. Like I said, in sync, out of sync. Something's going to be up, something's going to be down. This is why a lot of people talk about diversifying their investments. So that way you kind of level off. Something will be up, something will be down. You kind of level off. And hopefully as you're leveling off, you're leveling up. That's the whole idea. That's really what we want to happen. Then you've got Kraken. Kraken's moving again. Kraken's looking to raise $1 billion in debt with Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan to fund the expansion and potential IPO. Potential IPO. Are you serious with that? I'm just saying. Following their $1.5 billion purchase of NinjaTrader, I think what they're doing is they kind of want to have a war chest. I'm thinking Kraken doesn't want to get bought. I think I have no, we'll get into that in a minute. I'm not married to that date, like at all. At all. Because he already leaked something today. So I'm telling you, little boy that cried wolf. Little boy that cried wolf. Just saying. A lot of people think their name carries more weight than what it actually winds up having. Facts. Yeah, it could go either way. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm just, But I do think over the next few months, we could be seeing some really good news. Right? So if you kind of look at everything, the ETFs are coming, just certain events are in the near term that could actually pop the market. If they actually move the market up, I'm going to be sitting there taking some profit. I might even take some serious profit. Because, yeah. That's just the way it is. Hutanic, I don't know why you even bother to type that. Yeah, it could go up or down. Yeah. That's like when you get to the corner. You could go right or left. Or straight. Or you could just park the car. Yes, I'm busting your chops because you can't fight back today. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial. I had to take a deep breath over this, and you'll see why. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial has launched the USD1, the number 1 stablecoin on Ethereum and BNB chain as a part of its DeFi strategy and ongoing crypto initiatives. I can tell you now, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I just wouldn't. Nope. and the reason I knew what you meant, Hutanic. I knew what you meant. I was really just busting your chops. Uh, Go in the corner. You are officially in the flu corner now. You are in the flu corner. Maybe that will prevent me from sending anybody else to the corner because you're sick poo. That's right. I said it out loud on camera. So, why would why do I need another stable coin for a DeFi project? Why? You know, 8 Paws, you can go in the corner too. Don't be egging him on. Do not egg him on. We don't need that. The last thing we need is that guy getting egged on. Holy moly, these people, boy. Ugh, giving me migraines. Why? Somebody explain to me why I need another stable coin for a DeFi project. Just what are you doing? What is that coin going to do that the other many coins out there cannot already do? I'd like to know who's involved. I'd like to know what their security posture is. I'd like to know how secure are they. I'd like to know what other projects have they worked on that have been lucrative. I'd like to know the services that they're going to order, their DeFi project, right? I want to know all those things, all the tokenomics questions that I have for everybody else. I've got that and then some for this little company right here. I'm telling you, I'm not expecting anything big out of these guys. I think they're living on the name right now. Paula, you're in the corner now too. You don't tell me what I can and cannot do on my show, woman. Nah, you go in the corner too. So now we've got 8 Paws, Hutanic, and Paula. They're all in the corner. Except Hutanic's in that corner, and they're in that corner because he's sick poo. Unfortunately, it's about stable coins now, or L1s. Oh my God. Did you hear about Anatoly? I was talking about it a little bit this morning. Anatoly getting out there and talking about how, L2s are nothing, and it's all about L1s, and I'm like, dependable ones. Like, that would have been my response if I was sitting in front of him. I'd have been like, dependable ones. Why do L2s exist? L2s exist because not all L1s could handle the weight. It's just that now you have more choices. I found this comment during that interview just to be obnoxious. I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy. But I found it to be obnoxious. I really did. I really, really did. And it could just be me. But yeah. I'm not talking to you people. You're cracking me up too much. Unfortunately, it's all about stablecoins now, or L1s and BTC as a reserve. That killed AI, gaming, and RWA for this cycle. No, RWA I don't think is anywhere near dead. I think AI is killing itself because people in the AI space are trying to milk it, right? At first there was this whole thing, this awe kind of thing. Don't make me have to start deleting messages. I'm dead serious. I mean, unless you're really going to bring the vodka, because then, I'm joking. So I just look at RWA. I look at all of these things, but AI, that industry has shot itself in the foot. It's absolutely shot itself in the foot. Why? Because AI doesn't actually exist. Believe me, I work in the industry. AI doesn't exist. We're not there yet. It's just that it was labeled AI and everybody thinks it's AI. Oh my gosh. It's not. It's not. It's super search. It's grandiose reasoning of what they think is going to be the next word and learning from the other things. And based on those other things, these are the next words. Nobody wants to admit, or nobody in the industry is actually going to tell you, oh yeah, well, that's kind of how it works. Yeah, it's kind of how it works. So everybody's trying to do this AI thing. And a lot of people that are doing AI stuff really don't know how AI works. And so they mess it up. And so it's another failed idea. And then I see all these companies out here creating AI projects, creating these things that latch on to other standing applications. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, so how long is it going to be before somebody pulls an open AI on you and says, oh yeah, we have this whole area so people can come up with ideas and stuff and put them up there and you can attach them to AI, to open AI and chat GPT. And then what did they do? They took some of those best ideas and built them into chat GPT. That's right. So some of these people that are attaching to different applications and, extending the value of those applications, do you think those companies are not watching? Do you think those companies are not thinking the same thing? Do you think those companies have not already hired 5 to 10 people to already take care of that? To already do it? And you're running around, this is a great POC. Yeah, there are very few companies out there that are actually doing anything worthwhile using AI. Very few, honestly. All these people, I'm gonna have AI do this and I'm gonna have AI do that. They have this thing called vibe coding. I'm not wasting my money on that. My solutions architect, Steven, was sitting there and he was listening to this video, this whole big interview. And one of the women on there was like, yeah, this vibe coding thing is really cool. It's going to do a lot of stuff for you as long as you have a very seasoned developer. Because this, it's not going to do anything. These people are saying, oh, I used AI to write code. What is that code doing? And I'm saying this to you not to crack on people that are working in the AI space that are really doing some good stuff, really doing some really cool stuff and, actually doing things because they understand it. I'm talking about people that think they're going to go to the street and go get money to do some of the stuff they're talking about. It's like, are you serious? That's why investment in AI is pulled back so much. Because they're also scared that, somebody's going to pull the DeepSeek on them. And then after DeepSeek, everybody forgot about Quen. But after DeepSeek came Quen, which is even better. We use them all. That's how I know. Then you got some companies out there that are trying to do, multimodal AI, where you ask it and it asks all the AI and it comes back to you with a consolidated answer, kind of put together. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Some things it's good for, some things it's not. If you're going to go out there and you're going to invest in AI, be mindful of what you're investing in. Be mindful, especially if it's a crypto project that says they're doing AI. If you're a crypto project that's doing AI, are you a business or are you a crypto project? So you know how I tell you guys about the GMB3? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's one of those things. That's one of those things that you've got to figure out, that you've got to decipher. Because if you're not a crypto project, you're a company. And if you're a company, that means you're not going to give too much of a hoot about that coin. And then so when I look at things, I kind of go, yeah, but how is the coin being used? Oh, you're using it like that. And so you couldn't use like Cardano for that? Ethereum for that, Injective for that, Avalanche for that, Sui for that, Toncoin for that. Just what are you doing that's so special that you needed to have your own coin? What are you doing with it? That's why AI is hurting right now. That's why a lot of AI projects are hurting right now. They've got to figure out, well, what is it that we're bringing to the table that's going to get people excited, going to get people to use our coin, use our network for what? For what? Now, some of these crypto companies, some of these crypto projects actually have use cases. Some of the other ones, you're kind of like, you know? So, Lasky, what's going on? Sorry I missed you, man. Lasky, you go in the corner too, because I know you're trying to be funny. I know you're trying to be funny, because I know you see my videos, man. Ooh, Ooh, or they, I don't know. Not being disrespectful out here. Sorry. Paul is living in that corner, boy. I see what you wrote. You're living in that corner. The quarter crew threw him out the other corner. We're partying over here. And yes, I hang out in the corner. That's where all the cool people are. So this is the Breakfast Club now. Nice. Hive AI or Swarm AI? I have no opinion because I don't know either one of them. How's that sound? What do they do? What's their coin market cap? What? Give me the rest of the information. Yeah, and it's true. Rick Ritchie is right. I think it's fishy. I think it's more than fishy. I think it's 3 days out the fridge fishy. That's what I think. Yeah, keep the corner warm as I eat this soup. Yeah, I hope it's piping hot. What else we have? We've got billionaire Jeffrey Gundlach. I actually saw this interview. Warns that the U.S. government's $3 billion daily interest expense on $36.22 trillion in debt is choking the stock market's growth despite Fed rate cuts. He's absolutely right. But he's a bond guy. Just remember, he's a bond guy. But he ain't wrong. $36 trillion in debt, $3 billion a day. Yeah. Oh, you were describing the AI. Yeah. Sadly. Yeah, but you didn't say it in a whole sentence. I'm not apologizing for that. That's why you're in the corner. But seriously, when you, it doesn't matter if it's AI. It doesn't matter if it's, the next thing since sliced bread. It doesn't matter if it's Big Hero 6. You ever see that movie? It was a kid movie with animated movie, and it was about how this big bubbly thing that looks like the Michelin Man was able to read you medically. Now, there are some things out there that can do multiple things. There are tests out there that you could take that could do multiple things. That's great. You had that company where the woman with the deep voice went to jail for it and everything. I think she gave birth in jail. With any company, with any investment, I should say, any investment, I don't kid you when I say that you should do your own research. You should know your entries and exits. You should absolutely invest deliberately. That also means that I can walk away from a deal the same way I can get into a deal. I'm deliberately doing that because I did my own research. I understood my entries and exits. Have to do it in that order. Can't skip the order. Has to go in that order. And you look at some of these projects and you're just like, so what are you doing? What are you all about? What you got going on? I don't mind listening to projects. I don't mind seeing projects. I don't mind seeing them in action. But I've seen so much that I'm not going to be swayed by some, bells and whistles. So you have a new bell. Oh, yours is different because it's shiny. Okay. That's sweet for you. That's sweet for you. You have the day that you deserve. The sad part is that a lot of these people believe they're really onto something, and they've got a lot of hype around them, and nobody with deep knowledge, deep experience, or deep research capability has gone to them and said, "Yeah, that's nice as a company. Maybe not a crypto project." Or maybe that's a good idea, but I don't know that you scale because. So I've got a bunch of brutal friends. Brutal. If I don't have to ask them to rip one of my ideas apart. They will gladly do it. Especially if I dangle a little bit of wine in front of them. If it's Michael, then it has to be a martini. But still, they will gladly. They take pride in ripping apart my ideas. But they rip it apart because they know that I'm serious about it. So they rip it apart to see, well, can we put it back together again? If we can put it back together again, then it's a good idea. If we can't, then we leave it laying on the floor. And that's the kind of research that I'm talking about. When you do your own research, you got to get that level deep. That level deep. What is everybody else talking about? This company, this project, this whatever it is that's seeking my investment. I work hard for my money, right? I work hard for my money. So it's hard to part with. So if I'm going to part with it, I better believe in it. So just saying. Jetpack Joe, what's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, and did you invest in yourself today? Got to answer the question. Losky, you didn't answer the question. Did you invest in yourself today? Go Fatima, how are you? And I didn't see that you answered the question. Got to answer these questions. Did you invest in yourself today? Minimum of 15 minutes a day doing your own research, investing in yourself. Reading Sleep Partners with Snoop Dogg, moving the Death Row catalog onto Tune FM on HBar. They're actually competing against Spotify. Yeah, I heard about that. Hold it. Are you saying you just partnered with them? And thank you very much for that, man. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. You guys think I'm playing. Like I'm like serious. You know, compliments like that really helps me keep going. It really does. You know, because my kids, you know how kids are. Yes, and you invested in yourself. That's what's up. We are approaching distribution phase. I have no idea. Rick Ritchie, does the GMB3 have a deep dive on off-ramps and on-ramps since you didn't respond on your own Big Bagger chat? No, I didn't. Be more specific and we could talk about it during the next Big Bagger meeting. I have a funny feeling that there are a lot of people out there that don't necessarily know all the on-ramps or ways that they can get, you know, their money into the system. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, Hutanik. I must have missed something. I have no idea what you're talking about. Trying to find it, but anywho, let me go into this while I. So when you look at on ramps, you know how I tell you guys to know your entries and know your exits? One of those applications is going to be how you get your money into crypto and how you get your money out of crypto. And there are a lot of different on-ramps that you can use. There are a lot of different off-ramps that you can use. That's why I tell you before you make a move, understand the path to get in and the path to get out. There are different companies that specialize in on-ramping money. However, I will tell you that they also have KYC or know your customer, you know, rules and regulations that they have to follow. So they have to file KYC documents. They have to file KYB or know your business documents, all that stuff, all of it. So it's the same thing. Like, you know, we used to have contracts with cities and states, right? The Fed level? No, I don't think we had a contract with the Fed level. I have to check on that. But we've done business with the government. And so, yeah, you've got to prove that you are who you are and your company is who your company is. That's what that's all about. That's really what it's all about. So it's kind of one of those things where, you know, let's suppose you've got your wallet or you go to a website and you see, oh, I can click this button and I can buy something. Great. You can click the button. You wind up on a page that tells you, here are the different ways that you can buy, right? And the different rates that you can buy at, and you select one of them, right? And then you go through the process. They ask you, what state are you in? What country are you in? Your name, this, that, the other. That's a part of their KYC process. So somebody like me in New York, I don't have as many on-ramps as people in, let's say, Connecticut. Yeah, it's a pain in the tail. It's a pain in the tail. So I've got properties in different places. I've got to use, addresses from different properties. But even then, there are things that I can't do in the United States that other people can do outside the United States. So there's a litany. There are tons of companies that you can use to on-ramp your money. I will say this. Most of them are not inexpensive. They cost a lot. So you can use an exchange that's licensed in your state or your country or wherever you are, and they charge a modicum of fees. You can use a service like Changelly or Transact or Simplex. There are a whole line of them. If you've ever used MetaMask, you'll see like a litany of different on ramps and off ramps. You have to know your entries and know your exits. You have to know that when you buy this asset, that you can sell it later, and how you sell it is going to make a difference, right? So you know how I say that USDT has the most pairs out there, or seemingly so. Well, guess what? I want to go sell this coin. I go flip it for USDT. Then I send that USDT to wherever it is that I'm going to flip that USDT to cash, to fiat. So want to be a little bit more round robin about it? Go drop yourself into Pax G, then collect your actual physical gold, and then take that and go sell your gold. There are lots of ways that you can on-ramp and off-ramp, but it really is, a part of what are you trying to do? So if you're a big bagger and you were on the last big bagger call, you saw myself and Hutanik go at it about a particular project. And it was, Hutanik was like, I can't find a way to go buy this. And I'm like, how are you unable to find a way to go buy that particular project? Before we even bother to get into why would you want to, just how are you not finding it? So we had to go over, well, you can find a list of exchanges on CoinMarketCap, on CoinGecko, several different places. When you go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, they'll tell you what exchanges are actually carrying that coin. And they'll tell you the pairs by which they are carrying that coin. That's the simple version. That's the simple version. I saw a snippet. Oh yeah, I saw A-Pause says I saw a snippet about artists not happy with getting a fair cut of profits from Spotify. Yep, that was a thing. If you don't, you will find yourself holding till it comes back. BTC and blue chips. I must be missing something. What I see before that is distribution is the opposite of acquisition. It's not complete thoughts to me. I must be missing something. If you don't, you will find yourself. It's like this one is a follow-on from another one, and I can't find the other one. And Jetpack Joe, if that's you and that's what you did, that is freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. I haven't played in the music industry for a long time, but I used to manage artists. I used to bodyguard artists. It used to be fun. So there's a lot. Now, tonight's question. Do you think it is good for a crypto company to sign a deal with Trump Media? Yes, 21%. No, 50%. What now? 14%. And other 14%. The other was Rick Ritchie. And, you're not wrong. However, I would not. I absolutely would not. And the reason why is because I don't want my name tied to a lightweight in a space, right? Like, how deep do they go in crypto? That's like the newest thing for them. And you've already shown us that you know how to screw up a coin. So I'm good off that. I'm good off that. I'm absolutely good off that. So I have no interest in doing anything like that. None whatsoever. So Hutanic, I understand what you're saying. Hutanic says, I would never buy real gold at these prices, only Pax G, because coin dealers will rob you selling it back and charge premiums when you buy. That's right. Pax G can be exchanged 24/7 with buyers of any ETH native coin. That's great advice right there. That's a huge nugget. That's a huge nugget that he just gave you. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. Was that dealing with the distribution and acquisition comment? Okay. Yeah. So how is anybody going to get that, bro? How is anybody going to get that? Man. Your keyboard your keyboard just bites, man. Your keyboard just bites. But yeah, if I'm crypto.com and that's who cut the deal, that's who's, and it's not even it's a non-exclusive deal. It is a non-exclusive deal. And so, why? Why? I think that's like the dumbest thing. I mean, is it to cover? I mean, what are you doing? Are you giving that company money so that you can leverage the names? I mean, is that what it is? Because I'd rather go invest in some football club then. That's what I would do. But there's no way in the world. I would not. If I am crypto.com, I'm the heavyweight in the space. They don't bring anything to my game. I'm crypto.com. I mean, think about it. If you're crypto.com, do you need them? No. Do they need you? Maybe. But you definitely don't need them, and the risk is huge. Like, I wouldn't have cut that deal just because of Melania, the Trump coin, and now USD1? Are you serious? Yeah, no, I'm good off that. Nope. I'm okay. I don't need your name. Now, if you want to buy some of my services, sure. But yeah, I don't know. No joint press releases. Nope. You want to use my service? Sure. That's fine. But I don't need a joint press release with you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not even close. Not even close. Like, what are you thinking? I don't think there's that much name in the world for that. Just World Liberty Financial cuts a deal with crypto.com. You know, a non-exclusive deal. They put it in the article. Non-exclusive deal. What does that even mean? Oh, it's just another press release. Now my research kicks in because now I want to go see what else is going on that you're trying to make me look that way. I mean, did you hear the rumblings about tariffs again? So the market, went up a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. So, I mean, what is it at? 87 now, 87 and change? 87,613. Am I supposed to be wowed? I'm not. I think it got up as high as 88 or something like that. I think. Let me see. Let's go for a ride. Today, it was up as high as 88,635. Who's amazed by that? Rod, I hate to say it. I mean, first, hello. Did you invest in yourself? And, yeah, it is companies just kissing the ring. I think there's more risk in doing that than anything else. The risk to the downside is great. The risk to the downside is great. And then they're doing something with a DeFi project. What did they use to create USD1? Ethereum and BNB. Oh, that's cute. What exactly are they going to be doing with that? What is the DeFi project all about? So yeah, I don't know. I would not be putting my name on that. Not at all. Glad I didn't. It's not like we didn't see it coming after they met with Trump at the White House on a solo meeting. Yeah, you saw it. Somebody's cutting a check. That's how that works. Tariffs are code for Bretton Woods 2.0. Middle of deciding the next financial system. We're in the middle of deciding the next financial system. I hear you. I think we're in the middle of deciding who the winners are going to be and who the losers are going to be. Because if we're so concerned about everything, why are we paying so much money as a country? Why are we paying so much money to find waste when it would be so much easier? We could actually look at it and point to it and find waste. But we're paying for somebody to come in here and do it. I disagree. They're costing us more money than saving us money. It's meant to be make everybody look over here while we do this stuff over here. All the while, nobody's talking about that $36.22 trillion debt that we have. Gundlach is not wrong. He's not wrong. $3 billion a day in interest alone. Because we're giving away contracts to companies that aren't doing anything, not fulfilling the contracts. We're giving things away. And then on top of that, we're not collecting taxes the way we should from people and companies that have it. Nobody wants to admit that all of those tax loopholes are now coming home to roost. Think about that. Think about that. It says that they couldn't squeeze all of the money out of the little people. The little people don't have $36.22 trillion. The little people ain't got that. But they keep trying to squeeze blood from a stone. It's easier to go after the person that has a $30,000 a year job and owes like $5,000 in back taxes versus the person that owes millions and hasn't even filed taxes. It's easier? You're going to tell me that's easier. Even better, I'm going to throw that person in jail until they pay their taxes while they're in jail. Help me out here. Help me out. I'm just saying, most of these billionaires live off of debt. They're living off of, well, I have this portfolio. We can use that as collateral. Give me money so I can live off of debt so I don't have to pay taxes. What's wrong with paying your fair share of taxes? We've got proof right now, 36.22 trillion of them. Evidence that the way it's going now it's not sustainable. Like, this is it. Again, Gundlach wasn't wrong. $8 billion in debt every day, or $3 billion in debt every day in interest. Yeah. But we keep giving money away to the rich and wealthy. We keep doing it. Like, that's gonna trickle down. Haven't seen it yet. Just saying, haven't seen it yet. That's why I invest, because if we don't invest, how are we going to eat? How are we going to eat? We did a show a couple of days ago, and I was saying the same thing. We were talking about eggs, and I forgot who it was. It might have been Hutanic. It's amazing. Egg prices go up, but chicken prices do not. Make it make sense. I know they're different kind of companies, but I can get more chickens and I can't get more eggs. How's that working? Once I buy a house, I shouldn't have to. Yeah. Once you buy a house, you shouldn't have to pay rent to the government. You've bought the house, you bought the land. Yeah. You might have to pay for services that you receive. I'm down with that. I'm all right with that. But if I don't use the services, leave me alone. If I go cellular, I might use it. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter if I go cellular. You want to know why? You want to know why? This is good. Because the government doesn't sell electricity. They don't sell energy. Companies do. Companies do. For profit, that's the way it is. Okay, I understand. But what does the government do again? If we only taxed on purchases, would that not keep consumption in check? How can I put this? I understand your point, first of all. I do understand your point. Look at it from a different perspective. Everybody's saying that it is... Your point says that it's me and my consumption that's driving up the debt. How? When I paid for it. Whatever I got, I paid for. So it's not us. It's not us. It's not the people down here with me. Nope. That right there is something that they tell you to keep making you think that it's those people down there that are causing this problem. How? We don't have enough money for that kind of debt. Our government owes money on our behalf, but we can't tell them to stop. We can't tell them to stop. Again, wealthy people, companies, they don't pay taxes. Oh, we're going to bring jobs to your area. That's why you should give us the tax breaks. What? Think about what that says. We're not going to pay the taxes because we're going to have jobs and they can pay the taxes. See how that works? I'm just saying, you get to a point where you start to let things roll around in your head and you really start to pay attention to how things think, how things work. Taxing income only creates mobsters. No, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Like I said, the idea of taxing your income, we could debate that all night long. That's not a problem. I have no problem with that. I can see good and bad on both sides. Not a problem. I don't actually have a problem with it. I have a problem with nobody talking about the wealthy and companies that are paying little to no taxes because they're going to bring jobs. Let them pay the taxes and let me keep my money. That's what that says. First, tackle that problem. Then come talk to the rest of us that, are the slaves to these companies that make us come back to the office just because they want to fire us so that they can ship these jobs overseas. We're not talking about customer service, phone answerers, telephone people that are overseas. We're talking about jobs, six-figure jobs that are going overseas, along with the money to pay them going overseas. Let's first talk about that before we start talking about concepts like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't, tax your income. The wealthy don't have income. So my point is that it's not about not charging us, not making us pay taxes on our income. That's not the problem. The problem is in my eyes, my humble opinion, it very much is not collecting taxes from all of these companies that are pushing the burden of tax onto their employees while those companies walk away with all that profit. All the while giving away the money overseas, giving away the jobs overseas. In a lot of cases. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not having a battle with you, Hutanik. I'm not. They're two totally different topics. And what I'm saying is, come talk to me about the topic that you want to talk about. Come talk to me about that after you take care of the wealthy not having to pay taxes because they're living off of their loans that they got based on their portfolios. Talk to me after we start telling companies, we don't care if you're going to bring jobs to the area. You're still going to have to pay your taxes. How is it a company doesn't have to pay taxes, but all of their employees do? Well, the lower level ones. I'm just saying. You've got to look at all the things that are available to the wealthy and corporations. And then for those corporations that say, oh, we employ so many people. Where? What jobs? What jobs are you employing? Because a lot of these companies say, oh, we've got a lot of jobs and we got a lot of people working for our company. And most of those people are not here. And then a lot of those jobs that are leaving, I'm telling you, don't go do the research on it. A lot of the jobs that are leaving are like 6-figure jobs. You have wealthy people talking about it now that are like, yeah, how are these people going to be able to afford anything when they can't get a job because you ship that job overseas? How? Hutanik, I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. I'm reading what you're thinking. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. We're not talking about small companies. We're talking about large corporations, multinational corporations that get big tax write-offs because they're going to bring jobs to a general area. And now in today's world, they can't even say that. With a straight face. Think about that. All you people out there that work in offices, how many Zoom meetings do you have with people that are actually in the building? That's like a big thing. People make money on TikTok and Instagram Reels and all these places just talking about that alone. It's not about making you come back to the office because of any other reason other than if you come back to the office, you help spend money in this area. And because you're spending money in this area, you're putting money back in that area. But again, bigger problem. While I get to ship out so many 6-figure jobs overseas, I'm literally pushing money overseas to the tune of millions, all for the sake of, oh, well, it's costing us less. Is it? Is it? Those problems of working with overseas resources and the time difference and all that stuff, those things never went away. They're still there. They're still quite prevalent. So I'm just saying, at some point, somebody's got to stop and say, no, we are not going to give you tax write-offs. You're going to pay tax. If you move here, if you move your company here, you're going to pay taxes. Because I guarantee you, if you do the math on the amount of taxes that these people are going to pay versus the amount of taxes your company would pay, there's no comparison. Your company's going to pay a lot more in taxes. So why am I going to burden these people? They're going to wind up paying taxes anyway if you come here. But that does not mean that you get to skirt paying your fair share of taxes. I'm not even talking about having a capital gains, having capital gains conversation or anything else like that. I'm talking about simple things like, why are we allowing companies to move into areas for the sake of promised jobs and allow them to move there with no taxes, little or no taxes having to be paid? It's kind of a thing. Then we get to look at all of the other things. Because there are cases to be made on either side, and I haven't gotten down to each one of them. Capital gains, do I want to charge you for capital gains? Tough topic. I have to hear a lot more. I can make an argument on either side. I can sit on either side of the fence and argue for it. But like I said, before we get to that, These tax write-offs have got to go. This giving away of money to corporations that don't need it, that's got to go. The idea that some corporate executive can be making 1,000 times more than the lowest person at their company, that's got to go. How much money do you need? I mean, just think about that. How much money do you need? I mean, take cars, for example. Have you looked at some of these Chinese manufacturers? I think one of them is here now. BYD is here now. I think they're selling in California. Some of these Chinese cars are way better. The EVs, way better than what we have. They may have developed a system that will enable you to pump energy into your car in 5 minutes, in the same amount of time as pumping gas. Imagine. Meanwhile, it takes hours for you to fill up your battery when you plug in at home here. That's not to say that I don't think the Chinese are gunning for us or anything. I think they are. But we can't be so naive as to think that we're the only ones that invent things. We're the only ones. We're the smartest ones. We're really, really smart. We're really, really smart. But there are other smart people in other areas. At some point, we've got to get smarter and start, stop thinking about money so much. Costco makes money, but even Costco says, yeah, we can make enough. There comes a point where enough is enough. Arizona iced tea, there comes a point where enough is enough. I'm fine. What is your definition of happy? And when you achieve that definition of happy, that you can live that level of happy for the rest of your life, how much money did that actually take? Seriously. Oh, I want to be able to buy a Bugatti. Why? I want to be able to buy a Bentley. Why? It's an Audi engine. It's Audi parts. I want the Lamborghini Urus. Another Audi engine, Audi parts. I want red bottom shoes. Why? It cost them like $1 to make those shoes. Those shoes look just as nice as regular beige bottoms or whatever. It got to a point where you had a company came out with blue bottom shoes just to make a point. I'm just saying, what is your definition of happy? I want my kids to invest. Okay? I want my kids to invest so that they have more opportunities, better advancement later on in life, and they'll be able to take care of my grandchildren and do the same thing. I was wrong one time. I thought I made a mistake, and I ended up being right. Man. But yeah, I'm not disagreeing with any of your points. I'm just saying, but before we have those discussions, let's have that discussion. Because if we don't have that discussion, no matter how much my kids invest, $37 trillion in debt. $37 trillion in debt. Who's getting out from underneath that? How and when? Tonight's question. Do you think it is a good idea for a crypto company to sign a deal with Trump Media? Yes, 33%. I'm shocked. No, 39%. What now? 17%. Other 11%. 18 votes. That was a hot topic. 18 votes. Wow. 73% of taxable income from the people making over $548,000 are taxed. 44% 50% of the people, you might want to go back and work on those numbers. So 50, did you mean 54,800? Not 548,000, right? I'd have to look at those numbers again. I don't know that those numbers are correct. They tried to mint $1 trillion platinum coin. Genius. We just make 36 of them. I wish Utanic was wrong. Invest, people. Invest. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits. And absolutely invest deliberately. The GMB 3. You can apply that to almost any investment challenge. You really can. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community because we need to grow it. We absolutely need to grow it. We need to reach more people. We need to help other people get there. Because the more people that we have, the more people that we help get there, the more they will be able to help us get there. And if you can, become a member of the community. Go to growmybag.tv/sign-up. I know there were a lot of questions tonight that I didn't get to, but I think I covered the news the way I was supposed to. And I think we had a pretty good conversation. Anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. Everybody have a great night, Hutanic. I hope you feel better, bud. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.